And now, Knock 2 Studios presents Common Censored.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Common Censored, broadcasting live from Castle Sterling on the Sound, deep behind enemy lines in Azure, Blue, Connecticut. Down in like the boot, no, not the boot, maybe the heel area of FEMA Region 1. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. It is episode 110, and as usual, all kinds of crazy bombshell information, only made crazier by the fact that it is Hump Day! Yeah! All right, this is the second anniversary, 2-week anniversary of 100 Hump Wednesday, which was a milestone, obviously. So thank you for being here, everybody. We've got top climate scientists being told to cover up the lack of global warming. Cousin Chris, if you're listening, you might remember a bet we made a few years ago where I had bet that there had been no global warming since at least 2000. And you bet that there has been global warming and that we're still warming. And so it might be significant to note that they're saying that the temperature, that 1998 was the hottest year on record. And there's been nothing hotter than that since then. Chris, you're going to owe me some money, dog, if you're watching this. Also, 6 Trump charges have been dropped in Georgia in the RICO case, but don't get too excited because they could still come back. They've been dropped in their current form. We'll get more into that. All kinds of crazy stuff. Pizza is under attack still in New York, but the attack is getting more intense. We've got all kinds of stuff. Stephen Colbert basically telling us that he hates freedom without saying that he hates freedom. Literally saying, I'm ready for the computers to tell us what to do. It's fucking banana. Completely nuts. More stuff about plane crashes and incidents. We've got Putin saying they're ready for nuclear war, which is also completely crazy. England banning puberty blockers. Booyakah, victory for us. Kick ass. We've got MTG confirming that the Democrats plan to not certify the Trump election, saying she's heard them say it in person, being questioned by the media. Tucker interviewed the Q shaman, Jake Chansley, who's running for Congress in Arizona. We'll jump into that. The Tate brothers have been arrested yet again and released yet again. England is trying to extradite them, to prosecute them over charges or allegations from 2012, which, of course, they claim are nonsense. We've got interesting news out of Mississippi, one of the reddest states, which has enough anomalous voters and aberrations in the voter rolls of the state to impact a statewide election. Deadspin is dead. Oh man, they'll try to spin that in their favor somehow, I'm sure. Oh wait, they don't exist anymore. Everybody is being fired from Deadspin. It's speculated that it's been purchased for $1, not unlike Newsweek, like a couple decades ago. Got a good meme from Gator, maybe not necessarily a meme, but a quote from Frank Zappa on civics and social studies and the U.S. Constitution. We've got O'Keefe Media Group, #OMG, with getting a transgender Secretary of Defense employee on video arguing for open borders, repealing the Second Amendment, abolishing the Electoral College. We've got a Maryland racial equity official calling for burning America to the ground, making a series of racist statements on social media posts that have come to light. All kinds of crazy stuff. Speaking of James O'Keefe, there's a Pfizer whistleblower who had major revelations about the danger of the Pfizer stuff that we can't talk about on YouTube. But he basically has come out with interesting allegations about James O'Keefe himself. He's got James O'Keefe. He O'Keefed O'Keefe. He got James O'Keefe on audio admitting to going to Bohemian Grove, and apparently is alleging that oh, thanks, Mom Mac. I've done it a few times. I keep forgetting to do it. Apparently, this whistleblower is alleging James O'Keefe killed or was key in killing his story at Project Veritas, which is crazy. We've got Joe Rogan and Ray Kurzweil discussing the AI situation. We've got a crazy Reese report about parasites and how parasites may be the actual cause of cancer, and not viri, which is really interesting. We've got a video of a Kairos rocket exploding seconds into its inaugural launch. The Japanese space firm Space One, aiming to be the first private company to put satellites, first private Japanese company to put satellites in space. 75% of fire department resigning in the Cincinnati area. We've got a really funny conversation with Cuomo, Fredo Cuomo, Chris Cuomo, and Tucker from the other day, discussing how they were both fired. And it was a pretty relatable interview for Chris Cuomo. It seems like he may be initiating a slow transition from hard left to more towards us. So let's encourage him to keep waking up and sliding our direction. With some really funny interactions with Tucker throughout that interview. We've got damning evidence against Eric Bardeen, and from Barnes, additional discussion to what we talked about yesterday, and details about how his trial begins July 9th. Barnes is not too sure if it's going to go well, or if they'll be able to convict him. He's not too confident with the prosecution in the Armorer's case. There's a new documentary about the Hollywood takeover by the CCP, which looks really good, called Hollywood Takeover. We'll get into that. We've got Chael Sonnen reacting to Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, the exhibition, which is going to be occurring at some point on Netflix. Pretty exciting. Mike Tyson, I think he's going to whoop Jake Paul's ass. He may be in his late 50s, but he's Mike Tyson, So, they're talking about, people get in their late 50s, they're not not necessarily as tough as they once were. Yeah, but there are freaks that exist who defy all convention with physicality, etc. And Tyson's one of those dudes. So, I think Tyson has a good chance of winning. We got toxic Democrat Cori Bush calling Trump the former white supremacist in chief. We've got a new report confirming Brad Raffensperger committed crimes. We talked about that, where he recorded the conversation with Trump illegal. We got a rare Michelle Obama rookie card discovered. Actually, let's check that out. Since we're on the topic, we can jump over to the rookie card of Big Mike. It's pretty pretty cool. Pretty cool. We got a rare Big Mike rookie card over here. Michelle Obama in the house. Yep. In case you guys are new here, we will be linking in the description after the video, posting links to all of the content and articles we discussed throughout the episode. So if you're new to the show, if you're watching later after the live, you can click the description button, skim through all the topics we discover. There will be timestamps for when we cover them in our video as well. So if there's something you want to get into, you can jump right to that point in our video instead of having to sit through like 3 hours of podcast, etc. But thank you guys for being here. Welcome, all of you censored commoners. This is Common Sense. I'm Lord Sterling. We broadcast Monday through Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to use hashtag CommonCensored when you share the show. You can find us on X at _CommonCensored. You can also find Dre at TruckFit LLC. That's TRUKFYT LLC. Shout out to Dre. And you can find me at Mortis _Noctu on X. Disclaimer. Views expressed on Common Censored are only opinions. Assume everything we say is false and research for yourself. We're not giving medical, legal, or financial advice. The only advice we are giving is think for yourself. Question authority. Think for yourself. Question authority. All right, the brainwashing session is complete. I've convinced them to think for themselves. I've brainwashed them to think for themselves. I thought that was just such a funny juxtaposition of concepts using brainwashing techniques to convince people not to be brainwashed. I got it from a Tool concert where they play a clip. From a Timothy Leary speech, I think it is. Think for yourself. Question authority. So that's where that comes from. Before we get too down and get too depressed with all of the horrible news that I'm about to subject you to, some good news, some horrible news, as usual, I want to just take a moment to encourage everybody to remember that not everything is bad, that as horrible as humans can be, they can also be just as amazing. And as all of the bad stuff that we do, we can also do really great stuff. Like, check this out. This is video of a deaf girl using some new tech to be able to hear for the first time. And her voice, or her reaction as she hears her own voice for the first time is freaking priceless. This is really good video here showing what we're capable of and how we're capable of overcoming even the most devastating handicaps and problems if we put our minds to it. So just remember the potential that we have to overcome everything that we're facing right now. Was that my voice? So good. That's me. Just gonna be talking in no time, man. Just this face when she hears her voice. So good. So good, man. So good. Love to see it. That's a gift. They say that humans are made in the image of God. And this is like a gift from God for as scientists have attained this capacity to grant her with the gift of hearing. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Watching her react to her own voice. So good. Pure innocence. Pure innocence. Right there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. A little bit more good news, at least for now. Breaking. Georgia judge dismisses several charges against Trump in the bogus election interference case down in Georgia. The RICO case, which charging people with RICO in a way that it's never done before. Breaking new ground legally with novel legal theories and using somebody who has tons of experience in RICO prosecutions to do it right. No. Let's just hire somebody with no experience, Nathan Wade, and have it be operated by somebody who's out of her mind, Fani Willis, Shocker, shocker, shocker. Jim Hoft over here writing, Georgia Judge Scott McAfee partially sided with former President Donald Trump and dismissed several charges against the former president in the bogus Georgia election interference case. It can be recalled that the bogus racketeering case in Atlanta against former President Donald J. Trump and others has been assigned to Scott F. McAfee, a recently appointed Fulton County Superior Court judge who once served under Soros-funded Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. So you'd think that that might be a conflict of interest in itself, how he used to work for her. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with his decision, which he's going to be making by Friday, apparently, if he will be disqualifying Big Fanny, from the case entirely, which, according to all precedents of legal standards and conflicts of interest, etc., she should be disqualified, in my opinion. No doubt about it. Nelly Milan, welcome to the chat. Speaking of which, shout out to everybody that's with us over in the chats. We got 15 people on YouTube. Ed Hoskins, Threeper, Mama Mac, Bayou Gator, Sam, Duty, Melly Milan, Crazy B. Thank you guys so much for being here. Always good to have you with me. Appreciate you. Make sure to share the broadcast to help us get the word out to other people, because people seem to like the broadcast. Just nobody knows that we exist yet. So we got to get around the censorship, and I'm relying on you to help me with that. Slurp. Speaking of which, real quick, let's go to Threeper's quote of the day. We've got a good Milton Friedman quote from Threeper. Thanks, Threeper, for the quote. Quote, nothing is as permanent as a temporary government program. Words of wisdom. Kind of reminds me of the Reagan quote, right? The scariest 9 words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Pretty similar type vibes from that. Thanks again, Threeper, for the great quotes. We appreciate that and appreciate having you in our audience, brother. On the team, because we're all team working towards victory in 2024. Hashtag Operation Victory 24. Let's see, where were we? Soros-funded District Attorney Fani Willis returned a junk indictment against President Donald Trump for questioning the 2020 stolen election, a right protected under the First Amendment. And so, it's unbelievable that they're criminalizing simply questioning the election. So he and his co-defendants were indicted with 41 charges, Trump facing 13 counts, a blatantly unconstitutional attack. 30 unindicted co-conspirators are still being scrutinized for their role. We've got all the charges here against Donald John Trump, Rudy Giuliani, etc. Or et cetera, if you want to use the proper, at least the assumed proper Latin pronunciation. But today on Hump Day, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee quashed 6 counts of the indictment, including 3 directly implicating Donald Trump. AP reported Judge McAfee's order specified that the charges dismissed were linked to the alleged solicitation of elected officials to breach their oaths of office. It includes 2 charges tied to the controversial phone call on January 2nd, 2021, in which Trump spoke to Secretary of State of Georgia, Brad Ratburger. What's up, Alicia? Good to see you. According to the ruling, Count 2 alleges that multiple defendants solicited elected members of the Georgia Senate to violate their oaths of office on December 3rd, 2020 by requesting or importuning them to unlawfully appoint presidential electors. So I was listening to Bongino earlier, and he was basically saying, don't get too excited about this, because basically the judge said that, yeah, in the charges, you list what the charges are, the details about the criminal statutes, but you don't list in enough detail how the crimes were actually committed. So they're claiming that he's doing stuff, but they're not saying how he's actually doing it. So it's possible that they could fix their charging documents, add more details about the alleged commission of the crime, and just resubmit them. So don't get too excited yet. We're not entirely out of the woods with these 6 charges at this point. They could come back like Jason Voorhees or some horrifying zombie shit to plague us and Trump in the near future. But it's the chances will decrease quite significantly of that happening if we are indeed, if Fannie is removed from the prosecution on or by Friday. So that'll be interesting. If you guys want more information on that, specifically this article, you can jump over and find that in our video description. Let's move on to some other related information. Jonathan Turley explains why Fani Willis's RICO case against Trump is in jeopardy after the judge dismisses the 6 counts. This one is Christina Layla writing over here. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee dismissed the charges. Let's jump ahead to the substance. Constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley explained why the judge's decision to quash 6 counts of the RICO indictment severely wounded Fani Willis, because it not only is she being accused of impropriety, but in addition to that, her charging documents are all sloppy. The case is all sloppy. It's just like a 1-2 punch, where it just makes her look even worse. This only adds ammunition for the judge. He's like, well, not only are you, accused of all this craziness, essentially embezzling public funds to go on vacations with your boy toy, who you hired and paid an exorbitant amounts of money to push this nonsense, but the charges, the case itself is also half baked. Just throw it all out. Whole thing is ridiculous. That's right, Threeper. Kangaroo court is the term that I'm looking for. Hopefully, it's not too much of a kangaroo court, and we get the judge actually siding with logic and truth, and kicking her off the case, or throwing the whole thing out would be even better. Mama Mac is on X now at Mama Mac _OG. You got that old account working again, right, Mama Mac? So if you want to follow Mama Mac, that's pretty cool. She finally was able to beat the human test with a little help. Continuing with Turley explaining what's going on here. Let's jump over to his X post. Judge McAfee's dismissal of the 6 counts presents a difficult question for the prosecution. They tried to secure a superseding indictment to correct the earlier mistakes. It will make it difficult to try the case before the election. The defense is allowed discovery time and time to prepare for the new alleged crimes that will take time off the clock, pushing back the whole process. The court has indicated that they can still rely on the underlying conduct to make out the general racketeering charge. However, that theory was already thin soup and just got a bit thinner. Part of the value of the multiplicity of counts was to convey a pattern of criminality as a foundation for the more serious racketeering charges. So now it's flipped on Fannie, and it's showing a pattern of criminality and sloppiness and just general discombobulation and lack of professionalism for Fannie. So now it's working against Fannie by conveying a pattern of shitbirdness for her, which is hilarious. Continuing with Turley, this does not disable the case, but it adds yet another setback for the prosecution as it awaits the disqualification decision. Bo M. commenting, Jonathan, how in the heck can this judge be doing radio interviews? Isn't that a complete and total lack of professional conduct while deciding extremely important legal matters? It just reeks of unprofessionalism, in my opinion. Well, kind of sounds like par for the course down in Georgia, where all this craziness is going down. So yeah, there's another angle on that whole situation. Bongino, like I mentioned, also had really good takes on this earlier. Don't get too excited because we're not out of the woods yet. Let's move on to our next topic. Another one from our thumbnail, the headliner for today. We've got Alex Jones saying, "You will eat the bugs!" in his Klaus Schwab / Hitler accent. "You will eat the bugs." Reposting a post by Illuminati Bot at Illuminati Bot with one L, who posted a screenshot of the Daily Mail headline, which I actually have over here. We will jump to the actual article. And what is going on with the zoom over here? It looks all jacked up. World's top climate scientists told to, quote, cover up the fact that the Earth's temperature hasn't risen for the last 15 years. Something I've been saying for the last 15 years. I'm not a fucking super mega genius. Well, I'm not going to say that. But it doesn't take a super mega genius to figure this out. Leaked United Nations report reveals the world's temperature hasn't risen for the last 15 years. You mean we can't trust the mainstream media? Politicians have raised concerns about the final draft, fears that the findings will encourage deniers of man-made climate change. Well, if there is no global warming, then why are you worried about deniers? These people are still operating under the false pretense that this is something that's happening in the first place, which pisses me off. We've got this article written by Tamara Cohen, political correspondent at the dailymail.co.uk. Scientists working on the most authoritative study on climate change. Climate change, just the term climate change is so annoying. First, it's global cooling. In the 70s, they're like, maybe we should nuke the poles to melt the ice caps to encourage warming so we don't enter a new ice age. Then it's global warming. In the 90s, they're like, we need to introduce stratospheric aerosol injections to block out the sun. Our arrows will blot out the sun, Xerxes yells as he attacks the Spartans, just like like Bill Gates attacking all of humanity. We will blot out the sun as we work to destroy you. Don't make me destroy you. Sorry, James Earl Jones addiction. A leaked copy of a United Nations report compiled by hundreds of scientists shows politicians in Belgium, Germany, Hungary, and the United States raised concerns about the final draft. Published next week. Can you say published when you're talking about the future? I don't know. Being published next week. It is expected to address the fact that 1998 was the hottest year on record and world temperatures have not exceeded it, which scientists have so far struggled to explain. They're baffled. Scientists, doctors baffled as people are dying suddenly. Scientists baffled as even after placing their thermometers on airport tarmacs and next to HVAC units to artificially increase temperature readings, that they still can't show any global warming. So annoying. The report is the result of 6 years' work by the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, aka the Clown Panel, which is seen as the world authority on the extent of climate change and what is causing it, on which governments, including Britain's, base their green policies. These people all need to be elected to chief officers of being thrown in the volcano. That's what we need. After due process, of course, it'll be the jury that elects them for being thrown in the volcano. But leaked documents seen by the Associated Press yesterday revealed deep concerns among politicians about a lack of global warming over the past few years. Germany called for the references to the slowdown in warming to be deleted, saying looking at a time span of just 10 or 15 years was misleading, and they should focus on decades or centuries. These people. Oh, man. And I know that this is true because I used to be pointing out all the time that there were articles online from that from NASA saying that there was no global warming since 2000. So the fact that it's being covered up is true because those articles have been scrubbed from the internet. I remember back in the day in like 2013, 2014 when I was working for this Walking Dead convention, going around the country getting all these actors from The Walking Dead and crowds of like 100,000 people showing up and everything. There was an event, a Walking Dead, a zombie escape, like 5K challenge type thing in Hartford, Connecticut, where they took the Meadows, it used to be called the Xfinity Center or whatever it is now, and they made a big zombie obstacle course throughout the whole venue. And they had zombie actors running around and everything. And I was over there trying to escape from zombies with a couple other people from the convention. I was successful. And there's video of the whole thing. I was wearing a GoPro, sliding under tables and jumping over cars and stuff to escape the zombies. It was fun. But I was having a discussion with these people at that point in time about climate change and global warming. And it's like 2013. And I'm telling them it's all bullshit. There's been no global warming since 2000. NASA has put out information about it. And they're like, oh, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. There's climate change. We're causing it. Anthropomorphic global warming is real, bruh. And so I go online and I pull up the article and I'm like, NASA, says there's no global warming since 2000. And those articles are gone as far as I've been able to find. If you guys can find them, let me know because it'd be kind of good to get them back. So ridiculous. Hungary worried the report would provide ammunition for deniers of man-made climate change. It's the same thing with like, oh, if we release the Schmack Sheen statistics, it'll provide ammunition for the Schmack Sheen skepticism. That's the wrong mindset. It's like when you send out a inspector to the South Carolina Boeing plant, the Spirit aerospace plant, to inspect the manufacturing of parts, and they find 300 part errors, and you say, oh, well, that's too many errors. No, it's the wrong mindset. You're looking at it from the wrong premise. They're trying, we're trying to find the truth. Yeah, obviously, you guys get what I'm saying. You can't worry about what people are going to think. You just got to worry about what the truth is, you fucking scumbags. Oh, it could provide ammunition for people who have been pointing out the facts for decades. Belgium objected to using 1998 as a starting year for statistics as it was exceptionally warm and makes the graph look flat. Suggested using 1999 or 2000 instead to give a more upward pointing curve. How about you just show the fucking information and not try to custom tailor it to make it look like your agenda, BioGator, but were you dressed as the Joker, Lord Sterling? I was at one of the Walking Dead events, which took place on Halloween. I think it was in Atlanta. Yeah, I was dressed up as the Joker on that one. One of the pictures I showed yesterday was me at a panel at that convention on stage as the Joker, doing commentary in character as the Joker. Wait till Gates blocks the sun. Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Super insane. So they're trying to custom tailor the data to, push their narrative. These people are pure evil, pure, unadulterated
It's pure evil!
Not only is it pure evil, what percentage is pure?
100% evil.
100. That's right, Alex. Thank you for clarifying that for me. It's 100%
It's pure evil!
evil. Yeah, we got it, Alex. We got the gist. That was my bad. Yeah, so this is insane, obviously. And they're still coming at us regardless of what the facts show, as in New York, as we talked about, they were waging war against wood-fired ovens, which was an attack on pizza. The attack against pizza increases and continues. Attacking pizza is attacking us. You telling me that I can't go to New York and hit up Arturo's? These people are pure evil, man. If you're in New York, Arturo's is good pizza. Oh man, I was just thinking of Papaya King, which is hot dogs in New York. Used to be like 89 cents for a hot dog at Papaya King, and it was so good. Oh, my mouth is watering now just even thinking about it. Damn you for making me yearn for Papaya King. Slurp. So we got Brian Lupo writing over here at the Gateway Pundit. The New York Pizza Party, New York City's green rule, could shut down upwards of 100 pizza joints in the city. March 20th protest announced. These people are pure evil. An attack on pizza is an attack on all of us. No joke. So this was my thumbnail for today. Pizza under attack. I found an axe murderer and put him sneaking up on a big old pepperoni pizza over here to illustrate the the point. Where is the article? Okay, back to. Let me know what you guys think of the thumbnails. Also, moving forward, I've been messing around with the colors on Common Sense over here. Yeah, it was magma before. Now I got the American flag behind him. Let me know if you guys what you think about the art, if you like it, etc. If you think it sucks, let me know. Speaking of which, if yeah, that's right, Red Crypto. If pizza was human, axe murderers coming after it. Also, make sure to leave your thoughts about the show in the comments. Let me know if you like the show. Let me know if you think I suck and how much you hate me. Please, let the salt flow. Let me know how much I trigger you or whatever. And if you're watching and you're a lefty, fuck you. Let us know. Let me know. You get what I'm saying. Help tickle the algorithm. Juice it is what I'm saying. Comment. Even if it's negative. Leave me all the thumbs down you want because it boosts me in the algorithm. And we need to break through to larger audiences. Not that I don't love all of you that are already here. But inviting the trolls, Mama Mac, that's right. So Brian Lupo writes over here, the climate tyranny continues, this time in New York City, as if New Yorkers dealing with an influx of illegal immigrants thanks to their state's, quote, sanctuary city law wasn't difficult enough for citizens of the Big Apple. A new Department of Environmental Protection rule will further hamper the comeback for many iconic eateries. These are authorities that the governments do not have. These are blatantly unconstitutional edicts. That's right, cowgirl. New York City used to be the safest city in the world. Look at it now. Yeah, Rudy Giuliani. Even if you think he's working for the Illuminati, like Roy Shivers said in Ron Paul for the Long Haul, the 2008 political rap tune that he put out with Rudy Giuliani working for the Illuminati, etc. That dude, interesting. Roy Shivers, who went by putting out revolutionary rap tracks, but at the same time, he had an alter ego called D.L. Abramson, where he was like talking shit about Ron Paul and talking shit about conspiracy theorists on his radio show, which is weird, like two completely opposite perspectives inhabited by one individual who raps about conspiracy theories and then talks shit about him on his radio show. It's like completely mind-blowing. I don't know what to think about that dude. Other than he's a really fucking good rapper. Highly recommend his songs. But let's continue here. On April 27th, local pizzerias and bagel shops will be forced to replace their wood-burning or coal-burning ovens with more, quote, green options, or install expensive air filtration systems. How about sit and twirl, New York, you scumbags? The New York City, quote, rule, unquote, completely unconstitutional, will essentially require pizzerias with pre-2016 ovens to invest in a filtration system that will reportedly cost upwards of $20,000, according to the New York Post back in June. Quote, under the mandate, restaurants with coal and wood-fired ovens must hire an engineer or architect to assess the feasibility of installing emissions controls devices to achieve a 75% reduction in particulate emissions. When in fact, we need more of those emissions because the planet is continuously off-gassing our atmosphere into outer space. We need more greenhouse gases. We need more carbon dioxide and etc. in the atmosphere. We're losing it into space. We're at like 0.04% of the atmosphere is carbon dioxide right now, and when you get to 0.02%, according to some big top dog heavy hitting scientists, that's when all plant life dies on Earth. So we need to be drilling down and releasing as much carbon dioxide as possible into the atmosphere. These people, this is part of the anti-human agenda. They're trying to kill us, literally. In my opinion, allegedly. Bill Gates, you pure evil. Allegedly. Fuck you. Pure evil, allegedly. Oh man, this is like extremely agitating to me. Being able to see through the propaganda and just seeing everybody just go along with it. Oh, it's loving, it's liberal. Just submit, bow down as they take away your literal climate. You take away the carbon dioxide. The oxygen follows as the plants die. So they're taking away your oxygen. They're taxing your breath. These people are pure evil. If this report concludes that a reduction of 75% or more cannot be achieved, or that no emissions controls can be installed, it must identify any emissions controls that could provide a reduction of at least 25% or an explanation for why no emission controls can be installed. These people are pure evil. Many of these businesses barely survived the COVID lockdown authoritarianism, which under the Fifth Amendment, they deserve just compensation for that. Government makes you shut down for the public benefit. The government owes you for all of that lost money. Fifth Amendment, look it up. This is not rocket science. It doesn't take rocket appliances to figure this out, okay? These businesses barely survived the COVID lockdown authoritarianism from the COVID de Blasio administrations that forced them to shut down for months on end. More than 50 restaurants closed permanently just in October 2020 alone. 150,000 private businesses, I think in New York alone, went under during the lockdowns. Let's see. Trying to get a source for that. I don't know. I'll have to come back to that. Washington Post. Oh, they changed the headline. More than 100,000 small businesses have closed forever as the nation pandemic toll escalates. This was May 12th, 2020. So before even most of the businesses were shut down forever. You get my point. This is just total bullshit. Eater, New York, kept a running list of businesses that were shut down due to the draconian measures taken by the state and local governments. Another New York Post article from July mentions that Satmar Broadway Matzah Bakery spent $600,000 on filtering systems ahead of the rule. So, yeah, just bullshit. Ex-user Corpy of the Corpy Show laid it out beautifully on his recent X rant. The New Yorker monologues about the costs to these iconic New York City staples and the underlying push towards more corporate pizza places like Domino's and Papa John's, like crap and turds, as well as the lack of concern for the pollution caused by unnecessary skyscrapers and the flood of illegal immigrants, among other issues. This guy is the man. This dude is as New York as they get. And I got family from New York. My grandmother grew up in Brooklyn. Lord Sterling, was the the hero of the Battle of Brooklyn. My, Livingston's, and like my family is from New York to a large extent. The founding of New York.
Hey folks, I know I'm down south, but I'm not forgetting about my New Yorkers down there. Remember my post last night that we are going to fight this fucking mayor and this bullshit law against these pizzeria owners, these bagel shop owners for this bullshit.
evil!
Save the fucking environment with pizza and bagels bullshit. I said this last night, March 20th, this Wednesday at noon. We are all going to be, I'm not going to be the only one throwing pizza over the fucking fence at City Hall to feed the pigeons. Okay? I want all you pizzeria owners, I want all you bagel store owners to be there. Okay? We're going to feed the fucking pigeons, as I like to say, with tons of pizza and tons of bagels. Now, I know I got a lot of critics. What are you wasting food for? What are you wasting pizza for? The Boston Tea Party, they wasted tea because they made a sacrifice to make a point that changed the course of history. And we're going to do the same fucking thing here come Wednesday, March 20th at noon.
I had an idea when gas prices were skyrocketing last, like a year or two ago during all the crazy Bidenflation. I wanted to have a Texas Tea Party instead of the Boston Tea Party, where everybody throws gas cans into the harbor to protest against the gas prices. That would have been fun. Come on, it would have been fun.
Now, everybody, I want you to bring 2 pizzas and a dozen bagels, or 2 dozen bagels. Everybody who's coming. 1 pizza, we take slices and we throw them over the fence at City Hall to feed the pigeons. The other pizza, we're going to set up tables and we're going to feed the homeless, along with some bagels.
Damn, that's fucking...
So everybody fucking wins.
So
we make
good,
a statement,
man.
We feed the homeless.
This guy rules.
And we let this fucking mayor know, and the city council, and the other jerk-offs in this fucking city that hate New Yorkers, hate you business owners, that this is not going to fucking fly. So keep that in mind, folks. See you on the 20th.
An attack on pizza is an attack on Americana. It's an attack on all of us. And in light, in the light of this information now coming out about the UN report showing that the globe hasn't warmed since 1998, all of this goddamn legislation needs to be reviewed and evaluated. And they need to realize that all it is a tyrannical power grab designed to shut you down. And all of this stuff needs to be tossed out. Yeah, it's the pizza tosser, Sam Duty. Guy's the man. Dude is the man. Those are not gas cans. They're high-vis flotation devices. Yeah. We didn't even need to waste gas to do it. We could just take the empty gas cans and throw them out. Because throwing a bunch of actual gas would really cause prices to increase potentially. Bring in the manure trucks, to City Hall. Sam Duty, want to throw some bagels. Hell yeah. So they're still, coming after us. They're still attacking pizza. That even simultaneously, while they admit that the whole global warming agenda is BS and a hoax. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure to share the broadcast while we're live to get the word out. Appreciate you. Smash that like button. Let's move on to a brief palate cleanser over here from Benny. This is funny, man.
This video perfectly explains the difference between men and women in less than 15 seconds. Get ready. Go.
Babe, would you rather kiss me or kiss the prettiest girl in the world for $1 million?
$1 million to kiss the prettiest girl in the world?
Yes.
Do I get $1 million if I kiss you?
No, you only get $1 million if you kiss the prettiest girl in the world.
Well, obviously I'd pick the prettiest girl in the world and get $1 million. We'd be rich.
Yes, we would. But did you think to say, I'm the prettiest girl in the world?
But you're not.
Oh, that's all right. But you're not. Oh, man.
You're not. And that's okay. You're a solid 6.
Oh, that's just bullshit.
6.
That's bullshit.
If you would have just said, babe, you're the prettiest girl in the world, you could have kissed me and gotten $1 million. That's the loophole.
But
She's
you're
an
not.
8.9 minimum.
This video
8.9 minimum for this girl over here. But the funny part is, You know, she ruled herself out from being the most beautiful girl in the world when he said, well, do I get $1 million for kissing you? And she could have said, well, am I the prettiest girl in the world? And she could have led him right into the double win, the $1 million, $100 million, whatever. And she's the prettiest girl in the world. But he said, do I get the money if I kiss you? And she said, no, which means she's not the prettiest girl in the world. So she is the one who said she's not the prettiest girl in the world. Oh man, self-sabotage. Apparently she's not the smartest girl in the world either, but she is very pretty. I'll give her that. She's 8.9 minimum. But maybe like 110 IQ. Maximum. Sorry. I'm just joking around. I thought that was funny. So let's move over to our next actual story. We have Congress passing the bill that could result in a TikTok ban. Cullen Linebarger over here writing, House passes bill that could ban Chinese-owned TikTok in America. 65 members vote no, including 15 Republicans. And all the good Republicans like MTG and Matt Gaetz are saying no. No. So we talked about, like we talked about yesterday, this could be a vehicle that they're using to say, oh, we can ban apps and websites that they consider as interfering with elections, which means that they could next come after X, the only place where we have a foothold in big tech, which is Alicia 110 IQ, I think you're referring to. That's pretty high these days, which is sad but true. Yeah, pretty sad. Gator, thank you, man. Thanks, brother, for bumping the algo over on the screw tube. Appreciate you, brother. Giant shit test, which oh, with the girl, yeah, do not engage. I plead the fifth when she's trying to trap you with that line of questioning. Yeah, it's a setup. It's Admiral Akbar style, right? It's a trap.
It's a trap.
I fucking love Admiral Akbar. China may soon lose the ability to poison millions of young American minds with its social media app in the coming weeks if the House of Representatives gets its way. However, members of both political parties are raising concerns about possible constitutional violations. As CNBC reported, the House approved a bill Wednesday that demands China tech giant ByteDance to sell off TikTok, or the infamous media app will effectively be banned in America. Specifically, the bill gives TikTok, quote, 6 months to eliminate foreign adversary control, which would include ByteDance divesting its current ownership to remain available in the United States. The measure, protecting Americans from foreign adversary-controlled applications, passed by a 352 to 65 vote and one member voting present. This included 15 Republicans, and the 15 GOP who voted against it are Andy Biggs, Dan Bishop, Warren Davidson, John Duarte, Matt Gaetz. He does not put the gay in Gates, just saying. Rep MTG, an OG. Rep Clay Higgins, a top dog OG. Rep Nancy Mace, who will not be shamed into saying that since she was raped that she will not support Donald Trump. Rep Tom McClintock, Rep Alex Mooney, Rep Barry Moore, Rep Scott Perry, Rep David Schweikart, Rep Greg Steube. The legislation was previously introduced on March 5th by Reps Gallagher, Republican from Wisconsin, and Raja Krishnamurti, Democrat, Illinois, of the House Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party. House members on the Energy and Commerce Committee voted 50-0 to approve the bill 2 days later. Biden said that he'll pass it if it gets to his desk. This could move real quick and could get passed real fast. Are you commenting on Matt Gaetz's looks, BioGator, on his forehead? His 5 head? Do I have a 5 head? Oh, man. 3 per cowgirl noticed that quality men never ask these bullshit questions. Yep. Yeah, she obviously wasn't smart enough not to ask that question. Oh, you guys are vicious. Vicious. Yeah, exactly. Leading question, BioGator. How long have you not been beating your dog? Like Viva would point out, the premise is loaded with a bullshit accusation.
You loaded your bullshit question with an accusation based on a fabrication.
How long have you not been beating your wife? Perfect example of that. The classic example. House Speaker Mike Johnson, who supports the bill, told reporters last week, quote, "It's an important bipartisan measure to take on China, our largest geopolitical foe, which is actively undermining our economy and security." And since he mentioned the word bipartisan, I'm going to bring up an interesting quote from none other than George Carlin. Give me a sec to put this up on screen. George Carlin saying, the word bipartisan usually just means some larger than usual deception is being carried out. So bipartisan just means that more people are colluding to deceive you than just half of the people. George Carlin Hicks 2024, everybody. That's what we need. If there was a comedic duo for president, Carlin Hicks 2024, obviously referring to George Carlin and Bill Hicks, aka Alex Jones. Obviously not true, but hilarious nonetheless. Yeah, so yesterday Alex interviewed Marjorie Taylor Greene, who talked about how the bill is not as it seems, and that that there's all kinds of other stuff in the bill that are not good, basically. In addition to the dangerous precedent of banning private companies and free speech that make this bill a dangerous direction to go down. I'll find a link for that interview with Jones and MTG and post it in the video description so you guys can get more details on that if you want them. But for now, let's move on to our next topic. We have Ken Buck hinting that he may not be the only rhino that's abandoning the GOP and sabotaging the thin lead that we have in the House. In today's episode of Dan Bongino's show, he gets into it at about 6:08.
Up in New York. This is a total mess right now. Ken Buck has decided now he's going to leave now. Like at the end of, what is it, next week? He's out. He's gone. He's basically saying, see ya, I'm gone. I'm going to leave the 4th congressional district in Colorado open.
He's basically saying, screw you, pointing at MTG, screw you. Or let's do it. Fuck you, pointing at MTG. Fuck you, pointing at Matt Gaetz. Fuck you, pointing at Clay Higgins. You're cool, pointing at Nancy Pelosi, and then saying, fuck you, I'm out. Like Half-Baked style, but like evil and inverted.
Now, here's a statement. Thank you, Tony. Congressman Ken Buck. Statement. I'm a moron. Screwing over the... It should say that, but it doesn't say that exactly. At the end of next week, he's scheduled to leave. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a huge story. I think there's something bigger going on here.
Striker, what's up, dude?
Thank you. I was waiting for you to say that. Because as Tony sent over this morning, we were putting together the show. Look at this Newsweek article.
That's right, Alicia.
You think it's a
Kinda have to
conspiracy
allow
theory?
TikTok.
I'm only quoting Ken Buck himself, who apparently hates Republicans so much, he left Congress early to screw you over right before an election in November. They elected this jerkwad to do a job. Ken Buck teases more Republican resignations are coming. When asked by Axios if he was under pressure from colleagues over his decision to resign, Buck replied, listen to this. I think it's the next 3 people that leave that they're going to be worried about.
What? So there's going to be more?
Ladies and gentlemen, if 3 people leave and New York doesn't work out, who's going to be the speaker? Anybody? Anyone know? Yeah.
That's a hint.
His name is Hakeem Jeffries. Dan, he's a Democrat. Yeah. That's how that works. No, I'm serious. Now,
ooh, interesting, Striker.
Wouldn't that be interesting if right before a presidential election, where a group of never Trump Republicans who hate Donald Trump strategically leave their seats in Congress.
That's right, cowgirl.
To make sure Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, a radical far left Democrat, gets one of these. What is this for those listening on audio? Joe, what am I holding up here? Yes, a gavel.
It's a gravel, yeah.
Your head will be gravel.
Paul Pelosi hammerhand.
He gets the gavel. Wouldn't that be fascinating? All of the investigations right before the election that are being run by House Judiciary and elsewhere. Remember, the chair of those committees would change as the Democrats took back the majority. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Ooh. I'm just listening to what Ken Buck's saying, folks.
These people are intentionally sabotaging the GOP lead so that they can screw over the investigation, screw over our ability to prevent shit legislation from getting through. Red Crypto, you're making me hungry, bro. Making me hungry, man. It's the German form of Cohen. Interesting. Con. Oh, I see where you're going with this. I see where you're going with that. Bayou Gator, bring back impaling. Yar, matey. And we wear eye patches when we do it. Bring back keel hauling. How about we bring back keel hauling as well? Let's keel haul the corrupt politicians after due process, FBI is asso. We need to pass legislation legalizing keel hauling, impalement, and wood chippers as acceptable forms of the death penalty. Mama Mac, like, comment, share, and follow. Thank you, Mama Mac. And yes, Mama Mac agrees with keel hauling. Rhinos and money like horse and carriage. That's right, Striker. That's right. And walking the plank, yeah. Yeah, that's always a good one. Douse them with a little bit of blood. Make them walk the plank as the sharks are feeding. All right, I'm getting dark here. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, dangerous stuff going on with that whole situation. And he also had a good clip from his episode today at 46:43 with Chris Wray, just completely denying knowledge of the recordings of Joe Biden admitting to his ghostwriter. Losers use ghostwriters, just saying. That, I didn't need a ghostwriter for the 1,900 pages that I've written of the core saga thus far, and they don't suck either. Just saying. I mean, if you can't write, but you want to get a message across, maybe a ghostwriter could help, but I wouldn't call it a ghostwriter. Ghostwriter implies that they're like doing it all behind the scenes and that you're taking the credit for it. You could have somebody that's helping you articulate yourself, and that's acceptable. But yeah, Christopher Wray, the FBI's ASHO director, is over here completely denying that he even has any knowledge of
not
this.
Seeing it in your brain like you are when you hear an audio recording, where if I hear an audio recording of Donald Trump's voice, what are we seeing in our brain? We're seeing Trump.
The Dark Lord.
An audio recording is devastating. There are audio recordings of Biden talking about this entire thing, and Christopher Wray knows they exist.
Striker, I see what you're saying.
Watch him play stupid with Elise Stefanik about these audio recordings, because he knows how devastating these things really are.
To maritime admiralty.
Breaking news right now. Are you aware that there's an audio recording of Joe Biden saying to his ghostwriter in February of 2016, quote, "I just found all the classified stuff downstairs," end quote? Are you aware of that audio recording?
Again, I would just respectfully refer you to the special counsel.
No, I'm asking you, are you aware as director of the FBI? You're either aware or you're not.
I'm aware. Am I aware of what now?
Whether the audio exists of Joe Biden saying in February 2017, quote, "I just found all the classified stuff downstairs," end quote, to his ghostwriter.
Whoops, sorry about that. getting another video.
2017, quote, I just found
all.
all the classified stuff downstairs, end quote, to his ghostwriter.
Again, I'm just going to refer to the special counsel and his testimony and his report.
It sounds like you might be aware of it then.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, again,
So we
I
have
don't give a damn.
behind the scenes footage of Christopher Wray admitting or denying it.
I know nothing. Nothing.
I know nothing. I see nothing. I did not even wake up this morning. That's basically Christopher Wray. Fucking scumbag. These people, man. These people are 100% unadulterated, pure evil.
These people are 100% evil. Most of them are pedophiles and devil worshippers. And I mean that when I say it. Most of them you see are devil worshiping child rapists.
Just saying. Just saying. Seems to be where we are in civilization at this point in time. Super screwed up. Speaking of what he just said there, we should probably ditch YouTube since we're getting into uncharted territory. I'm going to have to delete the whole episode because that's that little clip I just played. All right, let me grab the Rumble link and post it over in the YouTube and Fakebook chats for anybody who happens to be watching us on the antiquated, censored, BS, big tech, big brother platforms. Make sure to come and join us over on Rumble, where the water is warm, where we all float down here. If you can't join us, I forgive you. But we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And until then, let's